Hi everyone, I'm April and you're watching the Tangled Cat Speaks, and today is December 16th. It's a Sunday. If you'd like to get a hold of me on any of my social media, I am the Tangled Cat on Instagram, Twitter, and on Ravelry. So remember to get that out of the way. I am coming to you from Rio Rancho, New Mexico, which is just outside of Albuquerque. What else? What else? What else? I think that's it. Anyway, so I have been talking about the Advent wraps that I was doing by Amba O'Brien. Now, I was trying to do both at the same time, but one kind of got a lot more attention than the other. And that is really only because I'm always very busy and I don't always have a chance to just sit and concentrate. So the one that is just garter, mostly, it's all garter, but there's a few increases here and there. That one got a lot more attention than the one that had some lace that I really needed to pay attention to. So I didn't really work on that one all that much. I think I might be a little further along. This is the Adventurer wrap. Am I in the middle of a row? I'm in the middle of a row. Lame. But, so this is where I'm at. Let's see, how many colors is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Color 8. And I'm way, way behind because this is the 16th day of December. And honestly, I'm loving the colors and I'm loving the pattern. I'm just not enjoying it under pressure, I guess. I'm already behind and I'm just starting to look at it like, so I think, and not to mention, I have a feeling that this, like, I don't know if you can see it, probably not, right here where it's kind of bubbled out, like it does that on a lot of it. It doesn't, I'm thinking it might block out, but I'm not loving it. And I should have made it wider. I don't like how narrow it's coming out. This is more of a thick scarf, and even blocking it out is not going to be what I would consider a wrap. So I think I'm going to stop. I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to think about it. Do it later in 2019. I probably won't do this as a rush knit, counting down the days to Christmas, because it's just there's too much going on for me to get it done in enough time for a color a day. So I'm going to have to plan it more, schedule time for it ahead of time so I can get more of it done without feeling rushed and then getting anxious because I'm behind, stuff like that. So I'm going to stop, but I'm digging my colors very much. And I only used a little amount of each color, so I've got plenty of each 50-gram ball left. So what I want to do is just cast on enough stitches to make it as wide as I'd like, and just do a rectangle and all garter all the way across, and just fading the colors as I go. Nothing fancy. There's not going to be any stitches, or it's simple, straight, plain garter. Because I do want to use those colors and I think they look so pretty together. And I just want to have something more mindless till the end of the year. So that's what I'm going to do. I really, 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 really want to work these colors. So that's what I'm going to do. And whenever I decide to pick up the Adventurer wrap again, I will consider upping the stitch count, and it will have to be in different yarns. But I do love it. I'm just not loving it right at the moment. And like I said before, I'm all about enjoying my knitting, and every time I look at it, I know I'm behind, and it makes me anxious, and I don't want to be anxious when I'm knitting. So I'm going to put that away. Not giving up. I will do it again at some point, but just postponing it. So the other one that I have been working on is the Adventurous. And this is the Advent shawl that she came out with last year. So I am done, and this, just half of it is huge. This is the first triangle. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm showing you the back side, whatever. So, oh, I love it. I'm loving the colors. I'm loving how they're just blending and fading. I love it so much. So I've knit from this marker down. So that was, I didn't bring them. Did I bring them? I didn't bring them. The leftover balls. This is something like, let's see, 13, 12, 11, 10. I think this was like, I stopped at color 8 and did all the way to color 13 on this part. So I'm loving it. I'm super excited. And you can see at the end, we started again with color 1 and did half the bind off, and the rest is on hold till the end of the shawl. So I've gotten that far, and you start again with color 1 and start the second triangle. So that's where I'm at. Which is the front side. I didn't put a marker to mark the front side. Yeah, I'm showing you the front side. So you can see I started with that color 1 again. So there's that pinky, yellowy, orangey, green color. And I've got, so that's color 1, but then it jumps to 14, 15, and I just started color 16. So I am up to date on this one. And I'm probably going to work a little bit more on it today, so I will get ahead now that it's small. And I can go through each row rather quickly, because getting to those long rows takes a long time. The last row of this ends up being 346 stitches. And then I got to do it all over again with the other colors. But, excuse me, I am loving my colors, and actually seeing it like this is just, I'm so happy. I'm super, super excited. I can't wait to see how the other half looks and then how it all looks stitched together. I'm so happy. So this one is really giving me tons and tons of enjoyment. Fluff on my lip. I think that it's because it's mindless, and the joy I'm getting is coming from the color changes, and because it is sort of a last minute thing, I'm not having to think too hard, because it's just garter except for the increasing. So it's giving me so much joy. And I think that I want to do that with, like I said, with the Hirschner's yarn. Because I've already used this color in the other shawl, and I have so much of it left. So I'll be able to work on something else and get myself something that's more of a wrap size, because what I ended up with so far on the other one, I was thinking it was going to be bigger because I was using a sport weight and I went up a needle size. So I overcompensated. I thought, oh, well, I don't want it to be crazy huge. So I went down stitch count, and that's what I ended up with. It ended up too narrow. So I overcompensated. So I'll have to think about that the next time. But I'm super excited with how it's turning out, and I love the color progressions of both of them. Very, very happy. And the pattern for the new one, the Adventurer, is actually wonderful. It's well written. I'm enjoying it as far as knitting. It's just the end result is not what I wanted. I wanted it much wider, and I'm behind on it, and that's kind of giving me anxiety. So nothing wrong with the pattern, just not the right time for me. So that's it. That's all that I have been working on this past week. Literally, that is it. Just working and trying to get some chores done around the house that I kind of neglected, and getting a few rows in here and there, even if it's just like a row or two on my lunch break. Because like I said, towards the end there, it was 300 plus stitches, and I was like, oh my God, this row's never going to end. So I might get 1 or 2 rows on my lunch break. Now that I'm back to doing something small again, I'll get through parts of it really, really quickly, and then I'll slow down again towards the end. But that's okay. By that point, I'll be like super, super excited and just want to be done and see it finished. And you know, I was thinking, I haven't blocked anything. I don't think I've actually had to block, except maybe one thing since I moved into this new house. And that was which one was it? What was it called? The Color Strike shawl. It was the black, fuchsia, and like a really light speckled lavender grayish color. But since I've lived in this new house, I haven't had to block anything because mostly I've been knitting socks. So like anything big, like block anything huge. So I really need to finish this because I really do enjoy blocking something. And I haven't done it since I've been in this house. So it's kind of exciting. And I want to get all of that done so I can pin it out and just stare at it from afar while it dries. And I know it's something silly, but I really do love blocking my stuff. Well, shawls. I don't block my socks. I have sock blockers that I bought that I don't ever use. So I guess since that is all the knitting that I've been doing, I will move on to acquisitions. So I'm going to make some noise here for a minute. All of these I got off of Etsy. And when I say all of these, it's quite a bit. For me, it's quite a bit. Let's see. So I'm going to start with, I talk about her all the time, Rebecca at Chemknits Tutorials. She's got an Etsy shop called Chemknits Creations. She's been, I think I mentioned it last time, she did her version of Vlogmas. She did it more as a Hanukkah, the 8 days of Hanukkah kind of thing. And she did some dyeing, each different dyeing video every day during Hanukkah. And whatever she ended up with ended up in her, oh, actually, I think those 8 days of Hanukkah was actually a mystery mini skein sampler kind of thing that she did. So the videos were more to show how she had gotten all of the minis done, and everybody who had pre-ordered got to open up their minis and also got to watch how she dyed them in her video. So it was really cool. But she had done one that she didn't really kind of like the outcome, so she redid it, but she had a lot of leftover dye kind of all over the place, so she kind of made a mess, and she basically just wiped up a lot of dye powder off of her counter with a wet skein of yarn. And what ended up happening is this yarn. And to think that she literally used the wet skein as a washcloth or a rag or something, and just was literally wiping everything up. All of those different colors that she had sprinkled all over her countertop ended up in this gorgeous worsted weight superwash merino skein. And as soon as I saw it, I had to go to her Etsy shop and see if it was still there, because whether she meant to or not, obviously she did it because she showed the video of, you know, her mess, and she showed how she did it. It was an oops video, she called it. And she shows herself wiping up all of this extra yarn, but it ended up looking like an elaborately decorated gingerbread house. Just all of the different colors. It was totally a complete fluke, but it yells Christmas to me. And it's worsted weight, and I already know what I want to make with it. I think I mentioned before that I'm not much of a hat wearer, but I'm going to start to try to. I love the look of hats. I just don't always feel like I look good in them. But I'm sure that you all have noticed throughout this almost full year that I've been podcasting, I have had the bottom of my head, the underneath part of my head shaved, and just this top part long. So I have decided I'm going to start growing this out. And it doesn't look too bad right now because I was literally in the bathroom just smushing it down. But it's starting to grow, and it just looks, I look like a fuzzy lamb up under there. But I'm really trying to grow it out, and I know that it's going to get way worse than this. It's going to get awkward at some point. And it's just fuzzy because I don't really have curly hair, but I don't have straight hair, and it's super thick and super coarse. So, oh, that's cute. All right, well, whatever. So I know that at some point I'm gonna probably want to wear some hats to cover some of that up because yeah, it's gonna be an awkward growing out phase, but I really loved having my head shaved. I loved when I first did it, like the feeling of like a freedom. Um, and I loved keeping it up and I really loved it during the summer. It was just great. But I'm ready for a change. So now I got to go through several months of growing it out and seeing what happens there. But it's going to be very awkward and I'm going to need some hats. So that's what I want to do is use this as a beanie. And now is the perfect time to do it. So since winter is here, I will have myself a nice warm worsted weight beanie. And then as it gets a little warmer into spring, I'll probably make myself a fingering weight, probably like a sock head hat or something. Because I did one recently. I think I talked about my son's girlfriend had her birthday and he wanted a beanie for her. And I used the tubular cast on. And I really want to do that again because I love how that turned out on her beanie. So yeah, so this was the first color that I got. And while I was there, I couldn't pass by this lovely green creation that she had on Chemnitz Creations that she had on her shop. This one she did, it was really interesting. She had gotten like a mason jar or kind of a big mason jar, I guess, and shoved in the yarn with some water and vinegar and dyes and stuck it out in the sun all day long, and like you would for like making sun tea, she did sun dyed yarn. And I love it. Love, love, love it. Especially all of this here. Oh my God. It's so pretty. So, and this is fingering. I think this is fingering and nylon. Yeah, 75-25 superwash merino and nylon. But I think this is going to be really, really pretty. Maybe a cowl or something. But I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I had to grab that. Let's see. The next thing that I got. I went crazy on Etsy. And I ended up at a shop called Fairy Realm Yarns. And I ended up with this sock set. It's so pretty. Yeah, it's so pretty. This is, I think this is a 50. It's fingering weight. This is a 50 gram skein and then a 20. So, and it came in this set. I don't know if it has a color name. Oh, it's called Silent Night. And that's what I was doing. I was looking for Christmas yarns. And this was ordered at the same time that I ordered the ones that I showed last time. But this one came from a lot farther away. This was, she's in the UK. So this one took a lot longer to get to me. But I'm so glad it did. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at that blue right there. That blue, these pinks, a little bit of peach going on, and then this. Oh, I'm gonna make me some socks. So that's what I got. And then I couldn't stop there because I also saw this. This is a fingering weight tweed yarn. She called the colorway Andrea. And I have some of this base. It's a similar base that I got from Pandia's Jewels. And I've got a brownish color, like a mustardy yellow color, and I think I have green and something else, I think. Or maybe I just have the 3 and then this made 4, because this is kind of like a reddish orange. It's not like pumpkin orange at all. It's like a brick red, maybe. I don't know. It's not pumpkin-y. And I had some orange at one time in another tweed from Pandia's Jewels, but it was an Aran weight, and that one was very pumpkin-y. This is, it's not like Christmas red, but it's not pumpkin orange either. It's somewhere in between. And I thought it would complement the ones that I already have rather well, and I can create something using them all together. So that's why I got this, because it's like, what? I have to. So I got that also from Fairy Realm Yarns, and then I had to get a soft link. Super cute. I'm gonna take it out of the bag, so excuse the noise. I know some people don't like the noise, but then there's also those people that kind of like strange sounds. So this is, oh, look at it, so adorable. Oh, it's adorable. I loved it the minute I saw it, and I could not walk away without it. I'm super excited to see how this knits up. It's so fun. And I don't remember it doesn't say the type of fiber that's in this yarn. I'm sure I'd find it. Oh, maybe it's on the back. Hold that thought. Oh, yes, it is. It's 75 superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina. 100 gram skeins for 400 meters. So there is a little bit of sparkle. It's very, very subtle. And I don't think that I'll be able to pick up the sparkle on my camera. Oh, maybe you can see a little bit under there. Yeah. But I'm super excited to see how this is going to knit up. I just think it's going to be wonderful. So there's that. And she also included a little treat, which I love. A stitch marker. That's a Christmas tree. How adorable is that? And that's her pretty card. Fairy Realm Yarns. I love her card. My hand is shaky. I haven't eaten lunch yet. But the card is the silhouette of a beautiful knitting fairy. I love it. Love it. Way to go. Yay. Super happy. So that's what I got in the mail. I realized that pretty soon, I don't know, I don't think I've ever mentioned it here, but I have had a year-long subscription for Universal Yums, which is basically, you know, every month I get a box of snacks from a different country, and it's a surprise to me which country I'm getting until I open the box. And I realized that that's going to be ending now in the new year. And so I needed to come up with something else to do, because I loved having that. And it was really fun when I would get the box and my son and I would sample all these different other types of snacks from other countries and stuff together. And, you know, we would sit there and comment about whether or not we liked them or didn't like them. We had a really good time, but he would never let me video our reactions to this stuff. So that was kind of a bummer, but we had so much fun doing it and I really liked that. But I wanted to try something different. So I signed up for a tea subscription, which is really, this particular one that I chose is really inexpensive, and it's just 3 samples for, I want to say that it was like $1 plus shipping. $1 a month plus the shipping, which kind of went up a little bit. And then I added, they called them honey sticks, but it's just the long plastic. I don't know if you've ever seen them, like long skinny plastic tubes that have honey in them. And there's a pack of 3. And so I ordered those as well. So basically every month I'm going to get 3 teas, and you can probably get, I think, 3 cups out of each sample. So basically 9 cups of tea and 3 honey sticks every month for less than $8 a month. So I'm super excited about that, and I won't know what teas they are until I get them. And I think there's also an option, if you like a particular tea, you can go back and order more of that particular type. And I feel so horrible right now. I can't remember what it's called. I'm going to have to put it up here, which subscription I got, but it seems super inexpensive, and I do love tea, and I think I'm gonna enjoy that. Something different. I wanted to try a new subscription, and I'm really trying to avoid getting more yarn because literally I'm looking at my stash lately and I'm starting to feel anxious. I mean, I love it and it's beautiful and I'm so excited to knit with all of it, but I'm starting to feel like I need to knit down on some of that. I need to make it smaller because I'm starting to feel a little overwhelmed looking at it. Overwhelmed in the sense that it's like so many future projects looming over me. I know that sounds strange, but I'm starting to feel anxious. So I know that last year when I started this podcast, one of the first things out of my mouth was, I'm not going to buy any more yarn for 2018. Yeah, that didn't happen, obviously. As a matter of fact, I went crazy ordering this year. So I did do one thing, which I did last year, and I think I mentioned it before. I had gotten the Indie Untangled Where We Knit subscription, and it was for quarterly installments, and you get a skein of yarn and a pattern. So I did that again. I already signed up for that, so I should be getting my first installment in February. But I am trying to make a promise to myself that this year, well, not this year, 2019 is going to be the year that I really knit down, because I'm literally starting to feel a little bit claustrophobic in my room because there's just so much yarn everywhere that I don't even have enough places to store it the way that I'd like. So I'm really not going to buy any more yarn unless it involves like I run out of something to finish a project. And I don't really see that happening too much because I've literally got a plan for every single skein of yarn in there. And I've planned it to where I shouldn't run out of yarn. And any leftovers are going to be done in scrappy projects or, creatively inventive ways to use different yarns together, which may end up being a hodgepodgey mess, but whatever. But I'm really, really planning on doing it. And the incentive for me to keep my promise this year or this coming year is that I want in 2020 is going to be the year that I go on a knitting cruise. And the only way that I'm going to do that is if I stop buying yarn with every extra penny that I have. So I need to start being more wise with my money and put it away so that come 2020, I will have enough money to go on some sort of knitting cruise. I've never been on a cruise at all, and I've only ever been on one knitting retreat before. So that's my goal. That's my incentive. And by God, I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to stick to it. Which the downside to this is I still got a couple weeks left in December of 2018. And I'm like, don't buy anything, April. But then there's the other part of me that's like, do it. It's your last chance. So I'm trying to be good. I'm really, really trying. But I know that that's something that I really, really want to do. And I need to be very disciplined if I want to get to that cruise. I don't know which cruise and I don't know where, but that's what I want. That's my dream. That's my goal. That's my incentive. I can do this. And I know that if I set myself an end goal, I can do it. If I just randomly say, nope, I'm not going to buy any yarn, I don't have the discipline for that. But knowing that I have a particular reason, I think I will. So cheer me on next year. Yell at me if you see me coming in with any new accusations. So let's see. What else do I have to talk about that's kind of yarny? I think that's it. I've been wanting to do some crocheting, but I haven't pulled out that blanket that I was working on in a while. It's actually sitting right in front of me. I haven't pulled that out to work on it, but I've been seeing a lot of cool crochet patterns and stuff, and I've just been kind of thinking maybe I can do one of those. So there's some really pretty crochet shawls that I've seen that are just gorgeous. And I never thought to use crochet for a shawl. To me, crochet was always blankets or stuffed toys, scarves, hats, mittens, stuff like that. I never really thought shawl. when it came to crochet, but I mean, I don't know why it never occurred to me, but I've been kind of seeing a lot of really cool patterns, and I don't know, maybe I'd like to try one of those in the coming year. But definitely 2019 is going to be me knitting down on my stash. But the first part of the year is going to be me going back to all my whips and trying to get some of those done. I don't know if I want to get it all done in the first few months of the year or if I want to spread them out, because I think I've got 13 or 14 whips on the needles somewhere in my closet. And all of them at varying stages of doneness. Some of them are maybe at 20% done, and others literally 90% done, and I just have it sitting there. So I need to get these done because, like I said, I'm starting to feel anxious, and I just want to clear everything up and tie up some ends, so to speak. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to pull that out. But we'll see. We'll see how all of that goes. But I definitely need to get rid of some of this. And by get rid of, I'm not saying I don't like it, because that's not it at all. I'm just feeling a little overwhelmed with all of the potential. So I think I'm going to do that. So that's going to be 2019. So, you know, don't expect a whole lot of, oh, look what I bought, because I'm really, really going to be good. Really, really going to be good. I should even do one of those boards, you know, and, you know, this many days, yarn shopping free. I didn't shop for yarn for this many days in a row. Now that'll probably freak me out too. I don't know. But yeah, so that's basically all the yarny stuff I got to talk about. I did try reading or listening to an audio version of the book that I'm reading for the Delicious Death group on Ravelry. The book we're reading this month it goes by two names, and I think that has to do with being released in the UK as well as the US, and the titles are different. But it's either called The 13 Problems or it's called The Tuesday Night Club. And I couldn't find the book in the library, so I thought, oh, I'm going to listen to it on audio. And I couldn't find that anywhere either without me having to spend money. And like I said, I'm trying to be good. So I found one on YouTube. However, whoever uploaded it has it at a really low speed, and it was really annoying to listen to. So I couldn't bear it for more than half an hour, and after that I had to stop. So then I was thinking, duh, April, you're dumb. You're so silly. I've shown you one of these books before. The last time I showed you was an Agatha Christie over 50 short stories in one book for the stories involving Hercule Poirot. Well, these are all the short stories involving Miss Marple. They're there. All 13 of them are in this book, and I've already gotten through 4 of them. I'm just about to start the 5th story. So, hello, why was I stressing? I don't know. I totally forgot that I had this thing. So, super excited. I've already gotten the first 4 done, and they're really short. They're maybe about 6-7 pages each, you know, and I can just get them done real quick while I'm, you know, waiting to finish dinner. I'm waiting for dinner to finish or something, and they've been going by rather quickly now that I figured out that I actually owned them. Jeez. So that is exciting. I'm almost caught up on that. And I believe that I mentioned Watership Down. That is coming out on Netflix. I believe it's the 22nd on Netflix and BBC. It's going to be a 4-part mini-series based on my favorite book ever. So I'm excited for that, but I think I want to listen to the audiobook. So I broke down and I got that. So I want to listen to that pretty soon. But I've been so focused on watching all of these vlogmases on YouTube and getting caught up on the regular episodes that some of these podcasters have been doing. So I haven't started that yet, but I really, really want to, because I want that fresh in my mind when I do see this mini series. So those are the two book things that I've got. I have been slowly but surely reading a few pages here and there on the Sarah Rain book, The Whispering. That's the haunted house one. And actually this one I like a lot better than a couple of the other ones before. I think this might be the fourth one in the series. I really liked the first one. The two after that I think were kind of slow. They were good, but they weren't as good as the first one. This one I'm really liking so far. I'm not sure how many are in the series total, but you know, I do love a good ghost story, so I'm having fun with that, but I'm just taking my time with it because again, I've been very time deprived, free time deprived. So yeah, so that's all I've been doing as far as reading. I just got done with the second season of Victoria. Love it so much. And I think, and I've been watching these on DVD from my library, so I don't know when I'm going to get to see the third season. That I think it's, if it's not out yet, it should be coming out soon as far as I'm aware. I'm still waiting to see if and when they're going to do a third season of The Crown. I really enjoyed that one as well. I think that's about it. That's all I've been watching lately. So like I said, I've been getting caught up in watching all of the YouTubers that I adore. So not a whole lot of TV going on here. Yeah, so that's about it that I have for you today, and I'm gonna go ahead and go fold a big giant pile of laundry that has been sitting on my couch all morning. I can wash clothes till the cows come home, but putting laundry away is a whole different matter. So I've got to get that done, and then I'll maybe make some plans for dinner, maybe throw something in the oven. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and do all of that. Maybe snuggle with my cat. She's over here wrapped all around my new yarn. So I am going to try to enjoy the rest of my day. I'm back at work again tomorrow, so I'm going to make the most of it. I hope that you will be doing the same, and I hope that the next week for you is productive and full of happiness, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Well, hello, Aggie. What you doing? Just gonna relax on my yarn and take a bath, huh?